Hello everyone to a short demonstration video of what these spirit root values or attributes right here actually mean. So this, for example, is the worst spiritual root you could pick at the start, which is that 5 spiritual root, which means you have 20 in each attribute. And now comes the question, for example, if you have these origin pills which increase the weight of one of the spirit roots, why and why not you should use them. But first up, let's get into the mechanics of how this works, and for that I have an Excel sheet. So here you can see the 5 different roots we have. All of them currently have a weight of 20. And the way in combat it's calculated which chi you obtain is based on a percentage. So first up, what you do is to get the percentage to absorb gold chi. You sum up all of these values and then go ahead and divide this value itself by all of these. So in this case, 20 divided by 100. And well, since all of these values are exactly the same, we get like perfect chances, 1/5 to obtain each one. Now, if we were to go ahead and use 5 of those origin metal pills, we would be at 30 metal. And in this case, you can like just enter it into your spreadsheet if you really want to. You first up see your sum changes, like your total across all these values is now 110. And since we have 30 divided by 110, we now in combat have a 27% chance to absorb gold. Now, why would you not want to use all of these pills? And I hope it's pretty obvious. If we go ahead and change every value to 30, our sum increases, but these are exactly the same. So you're still left with a 20% chance to absorb each chi type. And typically most builds want one specific type of chi. There are some like Heavenly Sword which want 2 types, but that's the idea. Now you can further increase this obviously with your golden core. If you do a perfect 9th grade golden core, you can increase an element of your choosing by 20, so you can end up like at 50. If you then pick the double pill poison Dao perk, you can get another 10, so you're like suddenly at 43, etc. And you can see it's a lot easier to obtain gold chi. And now comes the interesting part with a heavenly starting root. If you pick the worst one, mixed spiritual root, all of these elements are at 20 at a base level. However, if you pick a heavenly root, you can pick one element to be at 20, the rest of them will be at 10. And that is extremely useful for any build that requires one specific type of chi. Because if you just do the calculation, if I put in 10 right here into all of these other ones, look at what my chance is like, from suddenly 43 to 60%, like a big increase. Now, besides just those pills, the golden pill and your starting root, there are some other techniques. To give an example, if I can find it under gold, there you go, the heavenly crystal art, which at the start of the battle gives you plus 40 weight to your metal spiritual root. So suddenly you'd be at 100, and now you can see like 56% chance we're slowly getting there. Then there are even some pills, which in this case metal authority just means higher like metal root weight for the next battle. And well, if you imagine all of these are now at 10, you had a heavenly root, you have this one heavenly technique, you'd suddenly have a 71% chance to absorb gold, which is really incredible. Besides that, and that's the last way to increase it, but I can't showcase it in this heavenly or immortal palace thing, there is a modifier on armor you can craft, which is the exact same wood weight, or be it earth weight or gold weight. I believe you can get about 100, so if you're looking at like the perfect setup, you're suddenly at an 83% chance to absorb gold. But now I hope it clears up. The idea in most cases, the only exception is where you want to keep these at the same level, 5 element sword. Outside of those, you typically want to focus on one single attribute, and increasing other attributes is not beneficial to your character. And now I'm tuning out. See you guys next time.